Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I am so excited to see you guys all once again. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some tips and tricks on how to trade your house better in Adopt Me. Now, I know there are a couple YouTubers out there that have done videos like this, but I just have found so many of them aren't that helpful. Don't get me wrong, the tips in them are very small and clever and very well put together. As you can tell, they have thought about what they try to do. And I will also be giving you my personal tips. But I feel like their tips aren't very useful and they're more broad and very much the same. So I'm going to be giving you unique tips that I use that are trying to be a bit more different from other people. Some of them will be the same, but most of them will be very different from other people's. And I think that's what people need to see. So let's just get straight into it. Okay, so the first tip is the minute people enter your house, you should have a kind message or they should feel very welcomed. So things to make them feel very welcome is mostly a kind message, like telling them that they can take their time and look around your house and really just explore. Sometimes what I need to feel a bit more happy and better about trading this person for the house, because you don't want to trade a person that's kind of mean for their house, because I'm not super spiritual. I'm a little bit spiritual, but I feel like even in Adopt Me or games, if I trade a house that's got bad vibes from this mean person, then I don't want to accept it. And I feel like people just feel more pressured to if you're not so friendly. Then they don't want to do it if they're pressured. So let them feel more open to doing it when they like to. So you don't want to be sending a text that's hi, this house is blah blah blah, and describing all that. The next tip, I'll show you where to add all that descriptive words about your house into, but you don't want to be having that as the first thing you say when people enter your house. And even if you want to, which will make it even better, is you can sit on a chair. The chair I have next to me would be a great place to sit, and it just makes people feel like you're not intrusively watching them while they trade for your house. The next tip is when trading a house, you want to add all the descriptive details when you're about to get somebody come. So in the invite to get people to come to your house, so you want to add the style of the house and how much the house is worth or how much it was to make the house, stuff like that. That's when you want to be adding the details. Or when you're in a trading server, that's when you want to be saying, oh, so this is the style of the house and blah blah blah, because then that will make people feel intrigued to come to your house. But then when they enter to your house, that's when you can give them a kind, welcoming message. So you want to welcome them, but you only want to welcome them when they get to your house, because then that means, you haven't tried to exist, even see my house. So if you haven't tried to see my house, why should I be kind to you, But you still got to be kind in everything you do with, inviting them to your house. But I'm not saying make this message rude that you're inviting them to your house with. I'm just saying make it more descriptive rather than friendly, but still have a friendly aspect to it. Just you want to be more opening and friendly when they're actually at your house, because that's when they're going to make the decision whether to send you a trade request or not. And that's when you want to make them feel like they can really just open up with you and take as long as they need. So you really want them to feel that. But if they don't feel that, it's not great. And also when you're making an invite, you don't really want to go over 2 sentences, because not only is that what people care to read, but that's what you were originally only allowed to do in the party invites. So it's just better to only do 2 sentences. The next tip is you want to figure out the style of your house. Now there are loads of different ways to do this. First of all, you can just look at on Google different styles of houses and kind of see which house yours matches to best. So this is just you figuring out your own personal preferences for what you think your house's style most likely replicates to. Like for this house, I call it my modern-ish house because I feel like it's got a modern-ish style to it, if that makes sense. And I say like it could also be, I guess, like a vintage house in a way, because it's got like dark colors, and sometimes people call dark colors vintage, but I normally say modern. But another way you could do this is just take a photo on like ChatGPT and send it to ChatGPT, or even just Google and say, what house style is this, and figure it out from there. The next step is when you trade your house, you want to give people space, because I don't like when I go to other people's homes and they're like giving me no space, because not only does it make me feel pressurized to have to trade them, which you don't want them to feel because it's not very kind, and but also because some people don't really know how to say no and just pass on a house, so they would prefer to just teleport away. So not that you want them to teleport away, but it's just good to give them space to let them make that decision if they want. This next tip is when you trade your house, you want to make it as easy for yourself as possible. If you find it easier to manage only one person at a time, then you should choose certain people. Like particularly maybe somebody that's wearing like a modern-ish outfit. You can guide them toward your modern build if you're trading a modern house. What I mean by this is maybe just look at people's personalities and see if they fit a certain build. Sometimes you even get better trades by doing it this way, because maybe it's a little bit less stressful for yourself, but also because then you can find people that are looking for certain kind of builds, or look like they would be looking for certain kind of builds. This also includes moving your house closer to where everybody's trading. This is normally the nursery, so this glowing spot right here is also perfect. This is another Robux item, just like the magic doll. But I'm not sure if this one's cheaper. I think it's more expensive, but it's a little bit quicker than the magic doll. And I just personally don't really like the magic doll because it takes a little bit of time to place it down. It's really not that long, to be honest. It's like 5 seconds. But if you have multiple traders in one server that are also trading a house, then there's like multiple magic doors, and then sometimes you have to guide the person to the right magic door, and they might end up going in the wrong house and trading for someone else's house, which you don't want to happen. It has happened to me before, so I don't really like when it happens, and this is just a good way to avoid that. It's time to say goodbye to you all today. I hope you really enjoyed today's video. I definitely did. I really hope these tips help y'all, because I've seen a little bit of videos that I'm not a big fan of. None of the videos I've seen are horrible. I just personally think they need some better tips out there. So I thought I'd just share a couple of mine that I find really useful. Tell me if you guys want a part 2 in the comments down below. But of course, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Okay, bye guys! Thank you.